Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today I have decided to record another video about a concept we call loop. So I'm in Qt Creator. Click on the new project, select non-Qt project, then click Plain C++ application, click choose button, and let's give it a meaningful name, loops underscore in C++. Click next couple of times, and then finally click finish button. And this is our C++ skeleton for writing program. I'm going to remove the command line arguments and remove the statement as well. So a loop is basically a C++ statement is used to execute block of code a specific number of times or based on some condition. So we have two types of loops in C++. One is called the definite loop. So in loops, there are two types. One is called definite loop. The other is called indefinite loop. In the definite loop, we have a loop which is called the for loop. And the syntax of the for loop I'm going to explain a bit later. And in the indefinite loops, we have two loops called while loop and do while loop. Right? So this is important, that a loop is it's a statement that is used to execute a block of code a specific number of times or based on some conditions. So if the condition is true, like an if statement, that loop will execute. So in the main method or function, I'm going to write a for loop and say we type for in small letters, and then we declare and initialize a variable. So this part is called initialization. And after that, we check the value of y. If it is less than 10, for example, if we want to execute the loop 10 times, I'll start with 1, and then I'll say if it is less than or equal to 10, and after that we increment the value of y. So this is the syntax for creating a for loop, and then the body of the for loop begins. So let me tear apart this statement. This statement is called initialization, right? So the syntax for it goes like this: for loop, then initialization, semicolon, then condition checking, semicolon, and then increment. Right? This is the syntax of the for loop. So initialization means you declare a variable of type integer. You can give it any meaningful name. I have just called it I, and I've initialized this variable with the value of 1. This is the initial value. Then the condition will be checked if I is less than 10, if this condition is true, and yes, it is true because the value of I is 1. So then we will come down to the body of the for loop and we'll execute a statement, and let's say I type hi and so let me repeat what I just said. This statement will execute only once when you first enter the loop. So the initial value of I will be 1. Then this line will not be executed afterward. And then we have the condition, the value of I, whatever the value of I is, in this case it's 1. If it is less than or equal to 10, then we will execute the body of the for loop. Here we have only one statement, but we could create more statements if we want. Once the statement is executed, then the value of I will be incremented by 1. I plus plus means that add 1 to the value of I. So the value of I was 1 and now 1 will be added to it. So I becomes 2, and then again the condition will be checked. If 2 is less than 10, yes it is. Then again the statement will be executed. Similarly, we'll keep incrementing and we'll checking the condition. When the value of I becomes 11, and then the condition is checked that 11 is less than or equal to 10, this condition will evaluate to false and we will come out of the for loop. So here I'm going to say the for loop ends successfully. So I am going to compile this program, and as you can see, this is a green line. That means there are no syntax errors in the program. I'm going to execute this program, and now we have executed this statement 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this is a for loop. It's called a definite loop because you know in advance how many times do you want to execute a statement. So if you know in advance that how many times do you want to execute a statement, you use a for loop. But if you don't know in advance that how many times do you want to execute the statement, then we use a a while loop or do while loop.